What if I told you that on the eve of Canada Day, our government handed billions back to American tech billionaires after a single social media outburst from Donald Trump? That the sacrifices made by everyday Canadians were tossed aside in a midnight deal with nothing in return? This isn't fiction. This is the story of how Prime Minister Mark Carney's government canceled the digital services tax and what it means for every Canadian family. Stay with us, because today's episode is your wake-up call. The Friday rant that changed everything. On Friday, June 27, 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump unleashed a furious rant on Truth Social, calling Canada's digital services tax, set to finally take effect, a direct attack on America. He threatened to pull out of trade talks and slap new tariffs on Canadian goods, all because big tech would finally have to pay up. The timing was no accident. The DST was poised to collect nearly $2 billion from U.S. tech giants like Amazon, Meta, and Google, companies that have long avoided paying their fair share in Canada. The midnight capitulation. Within 48 hours and just before Canada Day, Prime Minister Mark Carney's government caved. At 11 p.m. on Sunday, Carney personally called Trump to announce that Canada would scrap the DST. By Monday morning, the White House was celebrating. Trump's team said it. Carney caved. Canadian sovereignty? Nowhere in sight. Billionaires skate again. Let's be clear. The DST was a modest 3% tax on digital revenue from the biggest tech firms. Firms that, according to Federal Election Commission filings, donated millions to Trump's 2025 inauguration. Amazon, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Apple each gave $1 million. Their CEOs, worth over $1 trillion combined, were front and center at Trump's swearing in. The same companies that would have paid billions in Canadian taxes are now off the hook. Is it a coincidence, or is it just another example of billionaire influence buying policy on both sides of the border? Where's the elbows up spirit? Remember elbows up? That was Carney's campaign slogan, a promise to stand tough against Trump's bullying. Canadians embraced it, buying elbows up t-shirts, boycotting American products, and canceling cross-border trips. In the first half of 2025, travel to the U.S. plummeted, and Canadian businesses pulled American goods from their shelves. Ordinary Canadians made real sacrifices, but when push came to shove, Carney's elbows up became elbows down, the government folded, and the sacrifices of millions were dismissed with a midnight press release. Nothing in return. And what did Canada get? No guarantees, no removal of U.S. tariffs on lumber, steel, or aluminum, no promises for fair trade, just a vague commitment to resume talks. Will there be resolution by July 21st, 2025? The DST would have funded healthcare, housing, and education. Instead, that money stays in the pockets of tech billionaires, while working Canadians keep paying their fair share. The real wake-up call. This isn't just about a tax. It's about who our government really serves, and whether our leaders will ever stand up for ordinary Canadians. If a single Trump rant can undo years of policy and sacrifice, what does elbows up mean now? So, as we celebrate Canada and Canadians, ask yourself, are we really in control of our own future? Or are we just one angry tweet away from losing it all? That's the wake-up call, and it's just the beginning. Check back for future episodes. If you found today's episode eye-opening, hit subscribe. Share this podcast with a friend. And join us next time on Canada's Wake-Up Call, because the fight for Canada's future is just getting started.